All right, thanks for joining us for another edition of Wisconsin Places Are Cool. We were at the Milwaukee County Zoo this afternoon. My wife and I decided to take a quick trek out there. We spent 90 minutes walking around the zoo grounds, and they actually had free admission during the time between Christmas and New Year's, and so we took advantage of that. And what a great thing that we did. Our two favorites, by the way, were the giraffe house as well as the penguins, and you will get plenty of both. In fact, we have the penguins toward the beginning of the video, and of course we had to end with the penguins as well. So I'm also going to give you a history of the zoo. We're going to do a short version and a long version, and you're welcome to listen to either or both. So here goes. The short version of the Milwaukee County Zoo history is brought to us by the Milwaukee County Zoo website. So in 1892, a miniature mammal and bird display in Milwaukee's Washington Park, which was at one point called West Park because it was located so far west of the city back in the day, proved to be a very popular attraction. By the turn of the century, it showcased more than 800 animals on 23 acres of land. Over the next 100 years, the Milwaukee County Zoo expanded constantly to the 190-acre site, home to over 2,100 animals and 330 species we know and love today. And now for those who really like to dive deep into the history, here is the long version. This is from the Encyclopedia of Milwaukee from UWM. The early years at Washington Park. As German immigrants flocked to Milwaukee during the second half of the 19th century, they sought to recreate the homeland they had left behind. In 1892, two prominent German-American Milwaukeeans, Colonel Gustav Pabst, son of Frederick Pabst, owner of Pabst Brewery, and General Louis Auer, donated 8 deer to Milwaukee's newly opened West Park in the effort to create a deer park, common in Germany. Designed by Frederick Law Olmsted's landscape and architecture firm, think Central Park in New York, West Park opened in 1892. As the small deer park grew, it was renamed Washington Park Zoo in 1900. Additional animals were donated early in the century, including a cinnamon bear, 2 black bears, a bald eagle, and monkeys. The new animals necessitated the further development of the zoo infrastructure, especially after Jack the cinnamon bear ate through the walls of the barn where he was living. Yikes! These new additions included the Eagle Aviary and the Animal House, which allowed year-round access to the zoo. In 1910, the Washington Park Zoological Society formed in order to build a membership and ensure financial stability. Under the auspices of the Zoological Society, the zoo quickly became a popular tourist destination in Milwaukee. Paved roads and the installation of lights allowed it to stay open at night. Washington Park itself featured a lagoon for boating and many picnic areas. It also held concerts in a large concert shell constructed for the Washington Park Square. These concerts often raised funds for the zoo. Edward Bean, the zoo's director, oversaw the acquisition of many new animals that drew even more crowds. Bean later became first director of the Brookfield Zoo, west of Chicago. In 1917, a bond issue raised $40,000 to build an exhibit for carnivorous animals. 4 years later, Monkey Island was built. It was the first of its kind in the country. During the years of the Great Depression, the Zoological Society faced financial setbacks, yet the zoo remained free for the public. As the zoo continued to expand over the years, despite the economic constraints of the period, the Zoological Society lobbied the County Park Commission to move the zoo to a new location with room to expand. Eventually, the commission sanctioned the move and, beginning in 1947, purchased over 200 acres of land south of Blue Mountain Road alongside Highway 100. The Milwaukee County Zoo officially opened 14 years later on Mother's Day, 1961, at its present-day location. In October of 1959, the zoo opened a miniature railroad which allowed visitors a new way of experiencing the zoo, and hopefully you caught that a little earlier in the video. We were pleased that we caught a glimpse of that train. It became an instant hit back then and still is a big hit today. Now, there have been a lot of animals that have been popular attractions at the zoo, but perhaps the best known resident of the Milwaukee County Zoo was Samson the gorilla. He was certainly a favorite of mine as a kid and of all my friends. Samson and his brother Sambo were brought to the zoo when they were about a year old in 1950. 32,000 visitors attended the opening of their exhibit. Samson quickly grew to an astonishing weight of 652 pounds. He died at the age of 32 in 1981. I strongly encourage you to visit the zoo. Certainly check out the website for their specials and different activities that they have. It's pretty cool. And we're going to let this video finish up with the penguins, one of our favorites. Again, thank you for joining us on Wisconsin Places Are Cool. Please subscribe, hit like, and add any comments that you'd like. Thanks.